An explosion in New York City caused heavy power outages, and this is pretty much one of the things that I've been warning about for some time now. It wasn't good news for New Yorkers, as some of them were left stranded for hours inside of elevators. Now, I stumbled upon this news right as I was comparing prices of gas-powered generators in Walmart, Target, and Costco. Not sure if it was an algorithm thing, but we all know that states like New York, California, New Jersey, Washington, and plenty of other states want to just completely get rid of gas and fossil fuel within the next decade.
In another New York story, the state is now the first in the country to ban natural gas in newly constructed buildings. That means no more gas-powered stoves or furnaces. The new law will take effect in 2026 and initially only applies to buildings less than 7 stories high. Some commercial properties, like restaurants and hospitals, are exempt. The goal is to reduce climate-warming greenhouse gases from homes and businesses, which make up 11% of the nation's carbon emissions. That's according to the Environmental Protection Agency.
Which makes you question, how are they going to do this, especially with our critical infrastructure as fragile as it is? And also, stick around until the end, because I have a huge warning for people who are receiving Social Security benefits, as well as those who use their phones to talk to their banks.
Now to that power outage overnight. Right now, New York officials demanding answers from Con Ed.
We have new video of the moment of that explosion. In fact, the outage was brief, happened in a flash, but it was widespread, and it sparked lots of problems, from house alarms going off to elevators shutting down.
Yeah, the explosion happened just before midnight at a substation in Brooklyn. It not only impacted the 5 boroughs, but also Long Island, New Jersey, and some Hudson Valley communities.
Video from a home security camera in Yonkers. It shows the brief flash that did all of this. Eyewitness News reporter NJ Burkett live in Vinegar Hill in Brooklyn with the very latest. Newt?
That's right, Bill. We're live outside the Farragut Power Station. It is a sprawling complex of transformers here on the East River. No, authorities do not believe that this was an act of sabotage. But what triggered the blast is still not clear tonight.
The light flickered first, about twice, and then I heard a bang. And then I turned to see a orange glow.
Manhattan chiropractor Anna D. says it was bizarre. The explosion captured on surveillance video. The blast lit up the night sky, smoke billowed into the air, and the sound echoed across the East River. It was moments before midnight, and Anna didn't know what to think.
Was it just, an error on their part? Was there a squirrel? Was it the weather? What was it?
Firefighters rushed to the scene, but the fire was already out. But key questions remained unanswered long after the smoke had cleared.
Trying to determine exactly what happened, it'll probably take us a little while to figure out exactly what failed, but it was some form of short circuit in a piece of high voltage equipment that was isolated.
There's plenty of reporting going around about this outage, but one thing that has been consistent throughout all of them, do you guys have any clue as to what this is? The common theme is that this was not an attack. Well, it's kind of weird to see an explosion right before midnight. I mean, is it that hot in the station for there to be a short circuit or something? Now, here's my question for you guys. Do you guys think that most Americans are ready for an attack that may hit our power grids? Comment a yes or no on that one. And before I go further into this update, make sure you guys smash the like button. We really need to let more people know about this, given that we're already being warned about possible cyber attacks in the country. And also consider being a part of this amazing community by subscribing to the channel. Turn on all notifications. Appreciate it, you guys. So getting back on topic here, what is it about New York that just, I don't know, it's like it just attracts problems. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, I love New York, but what is going on? And just to give you guys a better idea, that quote unquote brief outage that happened, it left people stranded in elevators for like 3 whole hours. That's kind of scary. It also affected escalators, but like those just kind of turn into stairs when they break down. But it makes you wonder if you need to buy batteries or maybe invest in some good old power banks, or heck, maybe this kind of situation would make you realize that a gas powered generator is more of a need rather than a want these days. Now, again, though, this is completely up to you guys. I'm just here to bring the message that our grids are not as resilient as you might want them to be. And it just goes to show that we need to be taking care of ourselves more nowadays, given that we can't always expect the government officials or these private companies to have our best interests at heart. And the same can be said for our wallets, as I want to pivot here for a second to the story where a woman lost her life savings due to a text scam. So let's go ahead and set the story here, okay? So Suni Wan, that's her name, she got a text message from HSBC stating that there was fraudulent activity going on with her account. So she had to call them right away. It didn't actually look like a scam given that the text thread that the message appeared in was the same one where she usually got her messages from the bank. This is called text spoofing, and it sounds the same as you would think. Scammers will spoof a number from a legitimate company, this one being HSBC. They send you fake warnings where they say that someone's trying to take over your account. These scammers may have even gotten the history of the woman's account since they knew she had a Samsung S8 on her account before, which is why they said that an S8 was trying to gain access to her account. Naturally, she panicked, and while they got her name, her address, birthday, they also asked her to generate a one-time passcode. Now, this right here should have been a red flag. I mean, even if you're inside the bank and they ask you for this, you're not supposed to give it because they're not supposed to ask for it at all.
Getting random text messages from unknown senders. Do they promise big bucks if you click on the link? Trust me, don't do it. Consumer reporter John Matarese found out it's probably a scam.
Bruce McGee checked his phone the other day to discover a worrisome text message.
It was a text that said that my Bosch dishwasher would be charged to my account. I didn't order a dishwasher.
A $1,500 dishwasher. He thought it might be a scam, but opened the text anyway.
In particular, I had to open because it specifically mentioned an item, and I wanted to make sure that it wasn't, erroneous.
So he decided to contact us to see if other people were receiving similar texts. But moments later,
as I was composing my email to you, I received another email from a bank with whom I do not do business.
It said, due to an unusual transaction, we have blocked your debit.
So was the first text message real? What about the second one? Well, it turns out they were both scams to steal his bank account information and possibly his identity.
No, the scammers do not discriminate. They will send this to anybody, and anybody that will respond.
Sarah Wetzel is with the Better Business Bureau. She says scammers are using text messages to impersonate businesses as well as government agencies to lure consumers into giving up personal information to steal their identity or their hard-earned money. She says there are some ways to protect yourself. Check for grammatical errors or a phrase that doesn't make sense. Do your research. Look up the number online to see if it's a legitimate business. And never click on a link from an unknown number.
And this is why these scammers are usually targeting on seniors. And just like I've done in the past, I've always come on here and I try to warn you guys because I don't want to see any of you guys getting fooled by these people, especially people who might be on fixed income like Social Security, SSI, SSDI. I know that every dollar is important. So if you know someone who needs to hear this message, go ahead and share this video with them. And I'm not saying that this is just for seniors though. Anyone can get caught with these scams so long as enough panic and fear is created. Now, the worst part is that if you fall victim to a scam where you provide them with all your own details, chances are it's going to be much tougher for you to get your money back rather than just having the bank attacked by hackers. Expect these scams and attacks to happen much more frequently as we get closer to 2024. I don't know. There's just something about the holidays that makes them much more active. But how about you guys? Do you know about these kind of scams? And what are you doing to prepare for possible winter outages? Make sure you guys let me know down in the comments. And before I go, I want to thank you guys for your time. Thanks for liking and subscribing to the channel. And I'll see you guys on the next one.